What's up, guys? It's your boy Cypher Providence back at it again with another video, another review. Today we'll be talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, the third one and the fourth one, Dream Warrior, and then the Dream. What is the fourth one called? Oh, it's right there. The Dream Master. I'll be starting off with the third one, and then I'll be going into the fourth one as usual. So the first one was released in 1987. It took a year break, I think, from the first two, and then they got right back into it with like the year by year releases, which was really cool to see. It also shows that, like, they want to take time to like maybe figure out what they want to do post and then go from there and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool to know. The practicals in this movie went insane. Like, they're actually like really top tier practicals, like 10 out of 10 practicals. All like the practical effects that they had throughout the whole film were immaculate. Like, and it's like, not only is it like, it's apparent in the other films that they do like a lot of good like practical effects and like effects in general and everything, but like this one, I feel like out of all of them had like the best. This one was real disturbing and creepy with how it like played off of, because the setting is like they're at like a psych ward and everything, and then so it played off of like the weaknesses and kind of the reasons why the characters were brought to the psych ward in the first place. Like, it played off of all like the things that ended them got them landed there in the first place. And I thought like a lot of the imagery and some of the ways that Freddy Krueger killed them or was like teasing and messing with them were really creepy and messed up, This is like, I would feel Freddy at like his most asshole-ish, at least so far of the movies I've seen. This is him at his most like asshole dickhead. Like the first two, he's an asshole dickhead, but I don't know, I felt like the first one he was kind of like goofy. Second one he was like more goofy, and then this one he's like definitely like goofier, but like for some reason the fact that he's more goofy but also preying on like our protagonist's weaknesses, it was just like, damn. And like some of these weaknesses like involved how they like try to kill themselves or things like that, or like some traumas that they've had in their past, which I just felt was like fucked up that he would use it against them. This one really delves into like the dream powers that Freddy's known for, and like his ability to change. Like, not to say that the other ones didn't like change like the dreamscape that he would bring people into or alter it, so like they would have deaths that kind of revolved around them. But this, like, I felt this one really like played into that, all the dream stuff, and like the idea of like, well, even though he's like a dream demon himself, it's kind of like it's cool to see how characters realizing that they like he's in their own dreams. You could be like, well, I'll have this superpower or something, and stuff like that. And I feel like that was really cool to see, and like that's honestly what I was looking forward to, so I was like very excited to see that. And like I said earlier, Freddy is like a full-on evil bastard in this one. Like, he is full dead set evil. Like, I don't know, I just felt like prior to the other ones he was like an evil dickhead, but like this one, it was like he's a really an evil dickhead, a really evil dickhead. And I thought like, I just thought that was cool. Also, love to see that Nancy from the first film is back in this one, as I really liked her character from the first one. I think I talked about it in the previous video, how like she kind of grew as a character throughout the film. Or I mentioned it. Maybe I mentioned it. But she grew as a character throughout the first one, where she was like not confident and like, scared of Freddy, to being like this cool badass who's like ready to take Freddy on full force and everything. And I thought that was really cool. So to see her back in this one, I was like, oh shit, my favorite character, one of my favorite characters is back, and that's cool as fuck to see. And then her like kind of being like a mentor to the other ones, obviously having been through the Freddy trauma and shenanigans, already like having at least an idea of what they're going up against. And then her realizing like, oh shit, he's kind of getting stronger, or he's stronger in this one than he was previously, and her helping the current cast of characters figure out a way to end Freddy once and for all was really cool. In fact, like, not even just Nancy being cool, but I thought every single character, like every single main character in this film was like awesome. Like Christine, the main character right here, she was done well. Philip, one of the other characters, one of the other psych ward kids was done really well. Jennifer, another one of the psych ward kids, like amazing character. Joey, Will, Tar, it's like I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's like Tar and then Y-N. I'm butchering her name obviously because this is not how you say it, but Taran. And then Kincaid, like all those psych ward kids, I really enjoyed them. I really liked them as characters. They like fleshed them out. They got all the characters got time to breathe and everything. Got time to like flesh out the characters and let us like get an insight to like who they are as characters. And I thought like everyone had time to shine and had moments to shine. And then also Dr. Gordon, the one who's kind of like overseeing the psych ward kids and trying to help and figure out like what's wrong with them. Now realizing it's like Freddy into like midway through the movie, in which he like eventually decides to help him. I thought he was good too. Like all the main characters, even I forgot to write his name down, but even this psych ward assistant guy, nurse dude, he was really good. Like all the characters in this film were like really fucking cool. So I thought that was like a huge plus. And then I like how, like, not seamlessly, but how like all the films are connected. I feel like the only film that doesn't, at least, and then based off of my the fourth film, that doesn't really get talked about is the second one. But I like how, if you really think about it, the first one, the third one, and then the fourth one, all are just like connected films. Like they have like a thorough line. Like the second one does, because it does reference openly the first film's events and all that. But like it doesn't have one of the main characters from the first one entering the second one aside from Freddy. And it doesn't like, I don't know, just like that. Basically that. It just didn't have Nancy or anybody like show up in that one. And then the other films, the 3 and 4, don't even like have a single character from the second one pop up at all. So it's like, it's cool that like basically 1, 3, and 4 are just all like connected because of either characters, they openly reference it, or like, yeah, like I said, the characters pop in between the first one, the third one, and the fourth one, which I really liked. And then it was unfortunate to see Nancy meet her demise, but I thought as a character she served her purpose well. Even though I was hoping she would live towards the end of this one, she did serve her purpose as a character, and she did good as a mentor figure towards other kids. And her death helping them, figure out and eventually have the power to end up beating Freddy was really cool. I like that. So overall, for the third film in the series, I'd give it a 8 out of 10. The scares, like, there is some scary stuff and creepy, disturbing imagery, especially with Freddy manipulating their fears and traumas against them, which I really liked. And then the practical effects were good. This had a banger ending song that I like. The first two films, like the ending songs weren't really that crazy or anything, or at least I didn't like think they were memorable. But Dream Warrior was fucking awesome. Like, what the fuck? It just came out of nowhere. Just movie ends, cut the credits, Dream Warrior plays, and I was like, what? We're getting good music. And then as we'll talk about in the fourth one, the fucking movie opens up with a fucking dope ass entrance theme or music theme, and I was like, So we're just doing good music now, which probably was in part because Freddy was getting, or Nightmare on Elm Street was getting so mainstream. But it was just like, that was crazy. It was cool to see. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I like the characters, like the story, the physical effects, or practical effects, my bad. Practical effects, and then the imagery and kills were just stellar. 10 out of 10. Not 10 out of 10 film, but like 10 out of 10 for all the things I just said. It's just, it's not like one. You know what? Actually, no. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. It's one of my favorite horror movies I've seen in a minute. I'll give it a 9. Live editing of scores, I'll give it a 9. It's one of my favorite horror films as of right now. I don't know if it'll be like a 10 out of 10, so it'll be like one of like my top like 5 or 10 or some shit. But it's definitely really good. Maybe if I give it a little bit longer, I'll be able to see, but definitely just 9 out of 10 movie. Really good. And then next we have a Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. This one was released in 1988. This one, for some reason, like, despite them basically hitting like a home run in terms of like a mixture of the first one and then the third one, like, I feel like the first two and the third one, I feel like all of them are like a steady like progression of films and like kind of the direction they kind of wanted to go into. And like I said in the first video, they deal with Freddy in different ways, which they did in the third one, which I really liked. But this one feels like it kind of lost its footing. Like, it kind of got like, Freddy was not overly, but he was kind of still goofy. Maybe a little bit too goofy than I would prefer. He does have his moments here, but he felt like a little bit too goofy. And then like, it just like, this one ends not in the same exact way as the third one, but in the way in which they deal with Freddy and tackle Freddy as like how to beat him. It's different, but it's the same. Like, they end up going to the dream realm, which is basically like how they kind of do it in like all of them. But like, and this one they kind of threw like 2 lines throughout the film that like were related into like his demise and like the dream. It's like his the dream rhyme or whatever. They end up using that, and like she used like some glass thing to like blast him, and then ends up like releasing all the souls from like within him or whatever, and he dies, which is different from everything else we've seen. But it was like kind of just loosely thrown together. It wasn't like something like that was openly built up to like the first one, the second one, or even the third one. Like, it just felt like, oh, cool, I guess, but whatever. The new characters weren't anything crazy either. Like, like I was saying, this fourth film is connected to the third one and the first one. And they openly have Christine. She ended up getting actress replaced, or the actress from the third one got replaced because of something that happened. There's like different reports, so I'm not gonna say like what definitively happened, but she ended up not fulfilling her role as Christine, so they ended up getting a new actress. So Christine, Kincaid, and Joey are in this film, but they get killed off immediately within like the first 30-ish minutes of the film. And then we're given these new characters, but like Dead Meat James was talking about, they kind of just like gaslight you into thinking like, oh hey, yeah, these were definitely the characters you've been enjoying this whole time. Especially from the third film, it's like, no, they're not. They're not, like, I'm not. And then like, unlike the previous film, they don't have like distinct characters. Like, they do in theory, but it's like one character is like, I'm a tomboy and I like working out, and she hates bugs, and that's it. And then another character is like, I have asthma and I'm smart. And then the brother to the main character, Lisa, is like, I do karate. And Dan is, I like Dan, don't get me wrong, but Dan's character is, I don't even know, just boyfriend of girlfriend, of main character. It's like, okay, I thought we were getting good characters now, but I guess not. I don't know. Yeah, but like, aside from Dan and Lisa, who are like the most notable characters, because Lisa is like, by the end of the film, she does turn into like a verifiable badass. But it's like, and then Dan's like a supportive boyfriend, but was like, I don't really care about anyone else, you know. And I was hoping I would, because as you've kind of seen throughout like all my reviews, I like good characters, or at least good character writing. And this like had 2 good characters plus Freddy, and then it had like 3 characters from the previous film, but they get killed off immediately. So it's like, who cares, you know? And yeah, like I felt like and it's not to say like you can't kill off the prior characters in the film and then have it be like a bad film or something. But it's like, if you're gonna do it, it should be to like help establish these new characters, and then give those new characters moments and opportunity to like to have spotlight and to give them death or something. But they don't. Like, the only one that really impacts mostly is like Lisa and Christine, but Christine dies immediately after her friends die, so it's like, who cares, you know? And this is Christine from the third one, so it's like, yeah, cool, it impacts Christine, and I would hope it impacted her, but it's like, she was from the previous film, so obviously she would. And then you end up killing her anyway, so it's like, whatever. I don't know. I was hoping, like, either they had kept the prior characters alive longer, since these newer characters were lacking in actual character, or if they were to kill off those newer characters as soon as they did, they kind of built them up so we liked the newer characters and like are like, okay, now we have a new squad to be with, let's go. But they don't do that. Visuals are always cool as always. Like, I feel like Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't know, I haven't seen the other one, so I can't really like say 100%, but like I feel like this franchise is going to continuously just have amazing visuals. Like, they might have a misstep because they like get too ambitious or something, right? But like, I wouldn't say that's too bad. I feel like, because I think it'll consistently have good visuals, but if you still have good visuals and you're getting like maybe overly ambitious, I feel like that just shows like how like creative you are as an artist, and you're like, I wanted to do this, and sure, it didn't land this time, but maybe next time with more material or time or whatever, I'll be able to hit it. And I'm like, I really like that. So yeah, visuals cool as always. I hopefully the quality of visuals doesn't go down. As I stated, I think it'll keep on getting good, if not better, over time. So yeah. And then I feel like going back to how I was talking about, like it kind of got not too big for itself, but I think I said earlier how like Freddy, or not, like Freddy was too goofy. I think it got like too mainstream for itself. And like the director, once again, shout out Dead Meat, but when I was watching their kill count, he said that like, unless it was for the third one, but I think it was for the second one or for the fourth one, he said that the author kind of wanted Freddy to be like this cool guy who would throw out one-liners, kind of like James Bond or something. And I'm like, that's not what this is, you know? Like, Freddy's like, his one-liners and his jokiness are like a part of his character, and they always have been, even from the start. But it's like, the whole like it's kind of to like give him like character. So to just make him like a one-liner throw out machine, it's like, ugh, you know. It's like what a lot of people say about like the Marvel movies, where it's like they're just like they make jokes and then they throw out one-liners, and it's like you're kind of becoming cringy, or you're like, if the one-liners aren't good and you're just throwing them out just because a lot of them won't land, and you'll be like, that's kind of, you know, it's just weird. So yeah, I just thought like maybe it got like a little bit too mainstream, too big for itself, and ended up losing its way, which is why it kind of lacked a lot of what the third film had. But overall, it was still a good watch. Like I said, Dan and Lisa are good. Freddy's always going to be good, even if in this version he's a bit too one-linery, goofy. And like, even though they killed off the prior characters, they were still in there and they still did good. Especially Christine, or the Christine double, still did good. So I enjoyed that. And the kills, as usual, were good. I feel like out of all of them, aside from like maybe the second and the third one, this one has one of my favorite kills with one of the characters, Debbie, who I kind of like, but she's not really standout in anything. But Debbie, the tomboy one I was talking about, she gets turned into a fucking cockroach and then squished. And I just thought like the visuals for that and everything were really cool. But yeah, overall, it's like a 6.5 or a 6. It's a solid film, but it's like, of all the ones I've seen, it's definitely my least favorite. And then not only that, but we will be making score changes for the original. So in the original for the original films 1 and 2, I gave the first one a 6.5 and then the second one a 7.5. But after having time to really think about it, I'm going to switch the scores. So the first one's gonna get a 7.5 instead of a 6.5, and then the second one's gonna get a 6.5 instead of a 7.5. So basically, Nightmare on Elm Street 1 7.5, and Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is 6.5. It's just now like kind of looking at it in retrospect, and also having time to let it breathe and everything. I really did like Nancy's performance in the first one more than I did like Jesse and Lisa in the second one. Which is weird that we got 2 Lisas in the same franchise. I mean, it is somewhat a common name, but it's interesting that there's 2 Lisas in the franchise that are entirely different characters. But yeah, so basically scores are going to be the first one 7.5, the second one 6.5. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is going to get an 8 or a 9 out of 10. And then Nightmare on Elm Street 4 gets a 6.5. And yeah, that wraps up my video. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll leave my socials at the end of the video like I always do, so you can follow me for any updates I do. And yeah, with that out of the way, peace. Stay pimpin', pimps.